The Yemeni army is now used to living behind barricades. Today there is no fighting, but the situation remains tense on the front line that cuts the capital Sana'a in two. The Yemeni army, loyal to the President Ali Abdullah Saleh, controls the southern zone, while the north is held by dissident forces. Here the shops are closed. Most of the residents have fled. They fear that fighting can resume at any time. Lieutenant Yahya inspects his troops.
Their role is defensive. If there is an attack, they respond. They are there to defend the goods and the houses of the citizens. They are here to protect them.
The dissident troops are only 100 meters away.
The barricades here, they put them up. Then they left this position and put some more over there. They used to hide in these buildings. They're gangs linked to General Ali Mohsen and Hamid al-Mar. They say they're leading a peaceful revolution, but they are threatening the city's security.
In northern Sana'a, we meet the forces of the dissident General Ali Mohsen. He used to be a close ally of Saleh, but after the uprising began, he defected in March. His men take a short break. Suddenly, a mortar bomb is heard.
Allah is great. Even the mightiest storm could not make us move from here.
We move towards the front line.
Let's go to the Kentucky district. The regular army hides in these buildings and then fires on citizens, on children, on the revolutionaries. The soldiers kill these innocent people who demonstrate without any weapons. Here the army destroyed many houses.
Some of the streets in Sana'a have been ravaged by the fighting. On the front line, a witness gives us an account of the latest events.
They fired a mortar bomb just now. Then they fired machine guns just a few seconds ago.
A wall protects the dissident soldiers against mortar bombs and snipers. They've managed to hold their position.
There's a battlefield between them and us. They are under the bridge next to that building. The army set up barricades and blocked the roads. We wanted to try and let the vehicles go through the roadblocks, but they fired at us.
Separated by only 100 meters, the two groups blame each other for the tense situation. This morning, a civilian was killed by a sniper. Outside this mosque that has been transformed into a hospital, a man tells us what he saw.
The first shots were fired at 6 a.m. Then there were more at 7 a.m. A little later, I left the house. I looked at my watch. It was 8 o'clock. That's when they killed him. It was in the street just at the entrance of the square. They opened fire on Ali Mohsen's soldiers and on civilians.
The uprising in Yemen began in January, following the revolutions in Tunisia and Egypt. The conflict peaked mid-March during a peaceful demonstration denouncing corruption and Saleh's 33 years in power. The army and snipers opened fire. They killed more than 50 people, leading powerful General Ali Mohsen to defect at the end of March.
Thank you to all the units that have joined the revolution.
Since then, many soldiers from different branches of the army have followed suit. We speak to some of them.
I realized I was protecting the powerful, that I was killing human beings. And one day I said to myself, why are we doing that? So I decided to join the revolution. I want to protect Yemenis, not kill them.
Sheikh Joured facilitated their defection. He used to be a member of the Special Forces, but he left the army in April.
These men have joined us today. They come from different units, from the Republican Guard, from State Security, from the Special Forces. In all, 250 men have joined us today.
Nearby lies this square that has been renamed Tahrir, change in Arabic. It has become the heart of the revolution. Protesters set up their tents here last February. In all, they occupy an area that covers 9 square kilometers. Here, life goes on as normal. Yemenis continue to indulge in the national pastime, chewing kat, a plant that acts as a mild stimulant. Anti-government demonstrations take place every day, with women on one side of the square and men on the other. Khaled, a lawyer, refuses to join a political party, although he set up his tent at the beginning of the uprising. His family has come to visit him. He hasn't left the square fearing an arrest.
Every day we demonstrate peacefully. Some of us are killed, but we continue with our struggle. We lose men, but less than if we'd started a war. Yemenis know how to fight. They've been through wars. They don't want another one. That's why we are peaceful activists. Tomorrow we don't want an armed group to come and say, hey, we protected you, so now you have to obey us.
Jihad Sultan abandoned his dental studies in Russia to join the ranks of the revolution. He was among the first to pitch his tent on the square.
Hello.
Just like Khaled, Jihad refuses to join a political party.
This is where we held our first meetings. I'm an independent. I have ideas for a new Yemen. I believe in change. I don't belong to any party, but it doesn't bother me if others join one. It's not a problem. The fact that we're all gathered here in one place means we can exchange our ideas. Now we are no longer scared of the authorities.
Some of the young men here used to belong to a party. Mohammed was a member of the Muslim Brotherhood.
I left them because I no longer believed they could bring about change. I think political parties reinforce the legitimacy of this police state.
On this same square, we meet Tawakkul Karman, an icon of the Yemeni revolt. These activists come to thank her for her work. Neither they nor her know that the very next day, she will be awarded the 2011 Nobel Peace Prize.
Why is the revolution lasting? Because we want all our demands to be met. We will not leave this square until we have reached our goal. While we are here, the revolution continues. Even when the regime is toppled, during a period of transition, we will stay here until there is a democracy governed by civilians and a real constitution.
Not far from the square, in the district of Hasaba, we go to meet the chief of the most powerful Yemeni tribe, the Hashed. It has now turned against Saleh, who's one of its members. The area is heavily guarded.
Put your camera down.
The president's army used heavy weapons to target the chief's main house. It's now an empty shell. The chief, Sadek Al-Amar, was there the day of the attack. He was meeting the president's envoys who said they wanted to find a solution to this crisis.
Everything was destroyed. They wanted to exterminate us.
A reconciliation now seems impossible.
Our priority, and we said this to Saleh, was to avoid a bloodbath. But he didn't listen to us.
It's time for a cat-chewing ceremony, as Sadek holds talks with several tribal chiefs.
We have come here to Sheikh Sadek's house to support him in the revolution. He was one of the first to join the uprising. We are behind him.
Hamid, one of Sadek's brothers, is meeting today with European Union representatives. He's a member of the Muslim Brotherhood, one of the leaders of the opposition, and a main fundraiser of the revolt.
The Yemeni people turns towards moral authorities when it feels the authorities are being unfair. For years, even before Saleh was president, we played that role of protector. That is our duty. That is why God put us here.
Protests are ongoing, with dissident soldiers protecting the marches. No one knows if a political negotiation will put an end to this crisis, or if a full-out civil war is inevitable.